Ladies and gentlemen of this beautiful country of Kenya, welcome again to The Scale with me, KinotiMarete. This is the third part of the economic empowerment process. Basically, it's like we're trying to advise each other on exactly what kind of steps that if you're finding yourself in a rat hole where you're not able either to succeed, find work to do, then you're able actually to follow these steps, and I can guarantee you that within a very short period of time, it will be a completely different ball game. I have gotten these ideas from my own personal experiences, and then of course, having listened to others who have been able to succeed in the same. So this is the third part. You can like and subscribe so that you can be able to get the 4th, the 5th, the 6th. We are hoping to go even maybe to the 10th part before we are able to actually give you the entire dossier on exactly how you can be able to succeed. So gentlemen and ladies, there's this particular saying that goes that nothing comes for free, but hard work pays. Repeat for emphasis, nothing comes for free, but hard work pays. So to elaborate a little or to try and analyze this particular statement, you would ask yourself, how do I work hard if I have no work? Whether self-employed or employed, either way, how do I work hard if I have no? But then you see, you're missing the point, because the first one says nothing that comes for free. Someone has got to be able to be willing, or someone has got to be willing to pay the price for success. So it will not just come. No, someone has got to make sure that they have put some little effort into it so that it will eventually translate into your success. Now, personally, I have two different ways of looking at things. And if you're thinking of employment, what are the pros and cons? And if you're thinking of business, then what are the pros and cons? There was an introduction in part 1 on how to look for work. And then there is the second part on exactly how to prepare for self-employment or to start a business. Now I'm asking myself, which one should you choose? And there is a big difference between the two. The first difference, I would say, if you're employed, then there is this particular notion that goes around that there is no way an employer can be able to give you enough to be able to save so that you become rich. It is not possible. You cannot actually become rich by saving. Working, it is just a step that you need actually to step on so that now you can go into investment, so that after investing now you can be able to start earning more than what you actually get paid, and eventually maybe you can even pull out of employment, or maybe continue having both ways of making money, so that at the end of it all you become successful. There is on documentation nobody that I know of that has succeeded simply because they were employed. Employment is important when you need to look for capital to start doing whatever you want to do. But then immediately after that, then you have to start figuring out what is that you love and what is that you need to do so that you can be able to live your life doing what you love. Because I can guarantee you 30, 40, 60% of our people, they wake up very early in the morning, not because they like it, it's simply because you need to earn something, so that you go report to a workplace that you also don't like. You also don't even like your boss to start with. You don't even like what you do for a living. You are in it basically for the money. You will also find that our parents, up to a certain point, they have got a lot of input in what we have chosen to do in life. You see, a parent will do a lot of research. Ni wapi kuna pesa sana? Actuarial science. My son must do actuarial science. I've personally been a victim of the same, because my father really wanted me to be an engineer. God rest his soul. Eventually, I did a little of telecommunications engineering. And I also, in high school also, and a little bit after that, I also did a lot of engineering in building construction. But you see, that was not really me, you know. Me, I was more of a media person. And that is exactly what I wanted to do in life. But you see, there is really nothing wrong with me doing what my dad wanted me to do, get employment, and then work towards getting what, or living the life that I would want to live. Satisfied life. Because life, again, we don't say it's always about money. If you live a satisfied life, you will find it very interesting that money will follow you. So what is the advantage or the disadvantage then of getting employed? Employment studies are done that we look at it this way. If you are at a certain level and you can do your own research, you will find what I am telling you is the truth. And maybe this is something that you've never known, but this one is a revelation for you today, to make you understand how the rich or the employers decide how much you should earn. If, for example, whatever job, let's say maybe you are a cleaner in Nairobi, this guy will do simple mathematics for you and you say, okay, a cleaner hawezi ishi Karen, anafanya nini Karen? So a cleaner should live not even, what does say hata sio Zimmerman. I don't know these states, these estates very well, but you look for the lowly of the lowest. And you say, unajua watu wale wanaosha wanaishi maybe Kibera or something like that. It's not that it's a bad neighborhood. So because I have a fellow Kenyans living there, that is a starting point. But that is what they will do. Wase Kibera, kwani nyumba Kibera ni pesa ngapi? Wasema ni 2,000 ama ni 3,000 or something like that. Ama they can even look for someone to share. That's how they discuss. Wasema so housing ya huyo jamaa ni kama 3,000 shillings. Well, wacha tuseme kwa sababu niko somewhere central town, the guy needs to travel kuja na kurudi nyumbani. So that bob kuja, that bob kwenda. Wacha tuseme 100 kwa sababu ya hiyo ni 3,000. So tumuongeze 3,000 ingine juu ya ile ya rent. And then this guy needs to survive. Lazima akule, akunywe. Wacha tumchapie 100 ama 150 every whatever. So tunasema we had another maybe 4,500 for your food or something like that. And then because the guy needs to feel like he's doing something. So ati anafanya kazi, anakula, anakunywa, and then he cannot be able to do anything else. Sasa tumuongeze 2,000. So in short, anapiga hesabu yake ilifika around 10,500, anasema tulipe huyu jamaa 12,000 kama 10,000. So wanasema let's offer him 8,000 shillings. If he agrees, fine, ataenda kutafuta mahali ya kuishi ama atakuwa akikula chapati madodo kwa street. So they give you enough, in short. That's what I'm saying. If your status and ama your CV inaonyesha maybe unatakana uishi umoja or something like that, they do the same mathematics. Nyumba umoja ni pesa ngapi? 15,000. Transport ni how much? 7,000. Hiyo ni 22,000. The guy needs to eat, okay, 8,000. So hiyo ni 30,000. So that he feels like he's doing something, tumuongeze ngiri 5, right? So 35,000. That is what they will offer you. Now, if you look at this mathematics, my dear brother, my dear sister, you realize that it is not possible for you to grow rich. And before eventually I'll come to the formula of living within your means, you'll be able to realize that the 3,000 shillings actually this guy gave you is not yours if you live in Kibera. It is the landlord's. And you must pay the 3,000 shillings, otherwise you'll be thrown out of where you live. If you decide that the 3,000 this guy gave you for transport is your money, then you'll be shocked, because unless you walk to work. Ukikula hiyo, mwisho wa mwezi ukilipwa, you have to make sure umeweka pesa ya kwenda na ya kurudi. Because if you don't do that, then eventually you'll be walking to work, my dear friend, na ukichelewa utafutwa. So there is no way you can get rich from employment. It's a fallacy. Unless wewe ni MP. You know, kwa sababu huyu jamaa atalipwa 1 million shillings, you will even be shocked. Wataiba zaidi, you'll be even shocked. A guy spends 50 million to look for employment, ambaye even if it was 1,000 shillings, 1 million shillings salary every month, if you say times that, times 12, and then you say times the 5 years, it's only 60 million. So you spend 50 million so that you can earn 10 million, and you still need to eat, you need to whatever. So it is not possible. They will steal from us. So unless you are a politician, or maybe you work with government where you can be able to steal, they will not give you enough for you to grow rich. Trust me, even if you're a doctor, or even if you're an engineer, it does not really matter. Wherever you are at, they'll just give you enough to survive. Because you see, even if someone is giving you 300,000 or 500,000 every month, then he figures out you'll be living in 100,000 house. Sababu wewe engineer hawezi ishi nyumba kama ya 50,000. No, you need to be in the right neighborhood because you need to drive the right car. So you take a loan, to buy, an SUV. All those kind of things, my brothers, show that the employer has really done his actual science, and he knows this is it's just like an insurance premium. Wamekupigia mahesabu, wanajua there is no way you can go beyond this, right? So then what does that mean? Employment is basically just a way of enslaving you. Not basically enslaving you because you get paid for your work, but then if you're hoping to get rich because you are employed, forget it. It will never happen. Now, what about self-employment or running a business? You see, running a business, this is where now hard work starts, right? Of course, we normally say, even if you're employed, work all the time that you work. I mean, you are at work, someone has employed you to work from 8 to 5, please kindly, if they give you 1 hour to rest, just rest for 1 hour. I will not say it's for spiritual reasons, but you need to reap where you've sown. Yani, ufanye kazi, niwe uliuliza hii kazi, so that you don't start saying, oh, alinivuta because of this and whatever. But anyway, because me, I'm trying to make you wealthy, or self-reliant at least, so that you don't worry about bills. I will not delve into that. That one is for seminars, wafanyikazi. So work all the time, you work. So you see, we step now into the employment, self-employment factor. You see, hard work now, that is where it starts to pay. Assuming that you are in a business whereby people buy a lot in the morning or buy a lot in the evening. Let's say you sell food. People want to, you're in an hotel setup. Watakuja kula saa 7 na watakunywa chai asubuhi maybe kabla waende hoteli. If you are lazy, utaamka saa 2. By saa 2, people are already reporting to work. Utakuwa na watu 2 ama 3 wale wamechelewa ndio watapitia kunywa chai kwako. But if you woke up early, upike chai by saa 12, even before someone apande gari, watakuwa washajua hoteli fulani it opens at exactly 6. And by that particular time, we're just not opening. Chai iko tayari, everything is ready. So we'll be able to eat, drink, and then go to work. So you'll have harvested, the early bird will have harvested by that particular time. Then the other gentleman, kama ni saa 7, you'll make sure that lunch is ready. Unajua tutakuja kungoja. We've been given 1 hour, brother. 1 hour. 1 hour to come and eat. Only 1 hour from saa 7 mpaka saa 8. So atukikuja tukute chakula haiko tayari saa 7 na dakika 15, we'll not wait until 2:30. Hapana, tutakula hiyo saa. So if you don't, tutakuwa tukiambiana wale chakula yao uchelewa. So you see, hard work here pays. And then the most interesting bit ni kwamba you can actually dictate how much you want to earn. Unaona ile ya kwanza, you only break even. Na unabakishwa kitu kidogo. But when you are employed, self-employed, it simply means, what I'm saying, like for example, if I want to make 1,000 shillings every day, and what I sell is mandazi. So for every mandazi that I sell, I get 10 shillings. So at the beginning, at the location that I'm at, I sell to say 20 mandazis. So times 10, that is 200 bob. But my target is 200 bob. Now this is where hard work starts. I can actually even choose to hawk. Yani nipike mandazi, watu wakikula asubuhi wakienda job, wale na uziaga hizo 20, then I start figuring out where do I sell the remaining 80. Do I take it to offices? Do I call people to come and pick them? Do I deliver? That is hard work. Now you start thinking, we'll get to that eventually. But then you see, the sweet thing is I'm able to determine how much I want to make. Because if 10 mandazis are making me 200 bob, then, and I want to make 500 shillings, then it simply means I have to sell 50 mandazis. But you see, with the work, aspect where you are working for someone else, if they are paying you 2,000 shillings, even if you sell 1,000 mandazi, they'll still pay you 2,000 shillings. It's as basic as that. And even if they increased your amount, it will not be to the ratio of how much you are making for them. No, it is different. We have agreed on a price, and if you are not even interested, you can go. I'll employ someone else, maybe even cheaper. I'll pay them maybe instead of 2,000, I'll give them 1,500, and they will continue to, because the market is mine. It is me who's marketed and made sure that these clients are able to come to me. So in short, the advantage of self-employment or going into business is simply because you determine how much you would want to make. I know of a certain guy who went into a culture that I will not talk about, that do not believe in men selling or walking women pants. You know, it's hard work again. And pride has got nothing to do with business. If you have your own pride, ile mtu anaingia kwa duka na kuitisha something alafu unakaa ni kama utaki or whatever, or maybe, and something, this is also another topic, you have what we call the boss mentality. Uko na msichana umeajiri. The msichana is always on phone akifanya mambo zake. Wherever you are never there. So a guy walks in and is ignored, he walks away. This guy with the girl that you've employed doesn't care. Because eventually at the end of the month utamlipa ngiri yake 5, 10, 6 zile mmekubaliana. He doesn't care. So eventually your boss, the boss mentality that you got will keep bringing you down. So when you look at the situation whereby I need to make more money, it simply means I have to work harder, and I have to be present, and I have to make sure that I know exactly what I want to do. Lazima nikuwe na projections za biashara. So when I'll be explaining to you exactly how to get into that kind of system with the planning and all those kind of things, then you'll understand what I mean by that. But then let's leave it at the point that you get to understand, you personally get to understand that wages profits are better than wages. Profits are the kind of money that you get when you sell something, ama when you give a certain service. You remove your costs and then you get your profits. So profits are better than wages. Wages are the salaries that you will get, the amount of money that you will be paid, which will not change much even if you do your best. You should do your best, I said, but it will not change much. It will be more or less the same kind of thing. But when you have profits, you decide how much do I want to make, and then you work towards that. So, gentlemen and ladies, in the fourth part, then I'll be able to clarify a few things on this particular subject that I've just delved into, so that you'll be able to understand better. So, for now, I would say thank you very much for joining us. If you have a question, or maybe you have your own kind of comments that you'd want to add, then like and subscribe, and then add your comment there, and I'll be able to answer whatever language that you'd want to use. I don't have a problem with that. You just write it down and I'll be able to read it, and then I'll be able to redirect you and exactly what to do. So attitude, action is the best way to end your financial, or to improve your financial situation. Thank you. This has been Scale for You, or the Scale for You with me, KinotiMarete.